All right. Yes, and we are on. Awesome. So today I am going to be doing a little bit of fun with uh, interrupt-driven palette fades. So I will be adding that in and um, uh, be doing maybe a little bit of maintenance here and there as I get through. And let me see. If I can, maybe I should post this to Facebook. Let's annoy them with some more live stuff. I know they're loving it by now, and this has got to be boring for some people. Um, so yeah, today I figured I'd do that. I figured it might be something that um, is pretty simple. At least I hope it is to do. So we're going to start with fade in. I don't know if I'm actually going to get to fade outs. That requires some eventing, but I might actually be able to rig something up to handle that so that we've got an idea. Because the thing with fade ins is uh, well, actually, no, some of it may have to happen because we're going to want to deal with some input issues along the way because you've got a fade and you want that to happen asynchronously. You want to be able to see action happening as it fades in or out. For instance, um, when you get uh, you finish a stage and you get the stage completed text, that pops over. Instead of just doing that hard cut like it does now, you want it to kind of fade out while that gameplay is still active, like the background and all that stuff is going on. But you don't want to handle too much input because it's like if you have a pause function, you could they could select pause at that point. So there's some stuff in there that has to happen that but fade in's pretty easy because the really only thing you have to do is maybe block some input. So we're going to get into that. So first so I do have some tables created for doing the thing. I've got four of them, one for each of the translations, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take whatever the current palette that I'm setting and or I'm fading to, and I'm going to translate those values by looking them up in one of these tables. But in reality, I think only these two tables right here, the level one and level two, are the ones that I'm going to need because these are kind of the four levels. If you don't know much about like how the Coco store it has all the palettes are set via RGB if that's the mode you're running or composite. There's some differences, but in RGB mode each color channel, the red, green, and blue, is comprised of 2 bits. So they have a value of 0 to 3. So you just take that value, subtract it by 1 for each of the levels, or subtract whatever the level value is, and that'll give you what translates to. But we're going to use some tables so we don't spend too much time um, servicing that interrupt. But so and with this one, this level you're always going to be black, and at the high level you're always going to be whatever the value of the RGB is. So those tables really aren't needed. So we're going to try to do something to eliminate those. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to use some indirect jumps for that one. So we're going to actually, I need to add a file here. Um, palette control. We need to get something that we can actually put our code in. And yeah, I'm gonna want to add that to make file. We're just gonna drop that right there, right around the IRQ server, so you know where we're running. So that'll work just fine. And we want to make sure that we include that because I'm doing one big giant ass binary file, man. I mean, it's not like the assembler takes 2 or 3 minutes like it did in the old days to build probably a tenth of what I'm working on right now. So, but right now it takes what like 0.41 seconds to build. What is it? 98,375 lines. Wow, that's some expanded ass macros in there. So those lines are the macros and the uh, compiled or the compiled sprites. They've been converted to assembly. So those are actually quite sizable. Those do take up the majority of of the memory, and but with the ZX0 compression, it still fits on one disk. I've got what, 28 granules? That's quite a bit. So I am almost out of physical RAM though. That I need to do some consolidation. Okay, so we got our palette control, quick build, everything looks hunky dory there. So let me do my traditional commit. We'll do that already. Let's see, add palette control, boom, boom, make file, boom, and we are good. Oh, I guess I gotta add a comment to that. You know, the interrupt stuff that I'm working with right now is just a basic template that I have for supporting pulled IRQs. This is there's because this is tied in kind of with the input manager and a couple of other things and all of that. That's uh, I'm using this instead of that. But there's some eventing support that actually happens in here, which we may kind of add just a teeny bit of that into it to support the fade outs. But we'll see how that goes. So first, what we need to do is we need to get we need to be able to call um, our palette stuff. So let's do this. After we increment the frame rate, we're going to JSR palette control. And what do we want to call this? Check. That way we can call it from other places if we actually wanted to control that programmatically rather than asynchronously. And that's the difference here. That's the async being able to do it asynchronously. Although it takes a little bit of extra time to get this kind of stuff added in versus um, like adding some of it in as part of a poll or just doing a loop or whatever. Is it that you don't have to worry about what action is still going on in the background scene because if your fade is slow enough, you actually notice that pause. It's just an aesthetic. It's certainly, but at the same time, it's one of those little details that often can get missed. So let's see, call the palette chip controller, whatever that might be at the time. So we've got that. Oops. And we're going to go over here to palette control. We're going to add this in here. And whoops, actually, we want to make that pointer. FDB. And it's chaos no op function, I believe. Yeah, that's it. Okay, and this is just an empty function that just does an RTS. So we're going to start without actually doing anything. That's our default state. So very important. And oops, I guess I should go back over here and fix that. Yeah, that was quick. I know, man. It's like you get used to these IDEs, man. Switching between windows and looking at it, it's like um, it's one of those niceties of having some modern day development stuff. Ooh, my bit rate is still too low. I should probably up that. I probably should update that at some point. Make sure that since my internet is actually working a lot the way that it's supposed to now. But let's see, what am I doing here? Well, let's try this. Let's just do something simple. Start fade in. All right, we want to take a parameter here. I've been getting sloppy lately. Oops. I've not been documenting my code where I really should. And I've been adding comments where I probably shouldn't either. I think just the address to I don't think it really needs much other than that. Probably going to want to exit with something here. Add that. Control. Let's do null there. Let's do this. I don't want to get some insanely long ass lines. Oh, this is the boring part. This is where you actually have to think a little bit. All right, so we've got that. Let's do this. We're gonna let's just get the framework in there. We'll make sure that that doesn't blow up first. Fade. And I think this is, yep, okay, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna make a note here. We're gonna make sure that that is noted because we're gonna be calling this, this is eventually going to get called from here within the interrupt handler. So as soon as it increments that frame counter, it's gonna go on that call whatever's in that tick pointer, and then that's going to be one of these. So we're gonna cycle through these. This way, I can do some of them programmatically, and that should actually kind of shrink up that wing. We should be able to get rid of those two tables with any luck. So since we're calling from interrupt land, I don't think we're going to be saving any registers on this one. So we're just gonna go commando. Free balling. All right, so right now we're just going to do this. Stage 1, store D, and the on tick pointer, and return. And we're gonna get lazy today because it's Sunday, and we're gonna copy and paste some of this crap. All right, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and then we don't want that. We want this to end it all. So that should be good. So yeah, I think we right here in fade stage 0 and stage 4, we'll do some we'll write some special code for that. Um, and that should be it. So we're going to want a function for these two to be able to call here, um, just for setting the translation. We'll add like an X or something. So let's see that. Oh, stage 3 is not defined. I miscounted. All right, so that's compelling. I think we're gonna go on. I think we're gonna live dangerously today. I think we're just gonna go ahead and write some code. That looks good. All right, so where are our tables? Now, for right now, I think we're gonna skip the writing of the code. We'll be able to get rid of those later. BSR. And we'll do this something like this. Set translator palette. Just to be a dick about it. We'll return for now. All right, so actually, let's go up and do this. Excuse me. Of the palette translation table. I don't think that we're going to need anything else because we know what our palette is here and we know what the address of the palette registers are. So I think we're good with that. So we'll just, you know what, we're just going to copy and paste this. Oops, you know what? Since I'm munging X, I'm going to live dangerously. Make it consistent just for the fuck of it. 1, 2, 3. And that should do that. And let's do this. All right. Oh well, I'm munging up everything anyway. We're just gonna do something simple. Oops. Let's get that. Should be palette. Cheat. Loop. And I shouldn't have to be masking anything, so that's good. All right, so we've got u plus a comma y. Oops. Almost boned that up. All right, so we got our little palette value from our palette that we're passing it, and we get the translated value, or the for that particular level, out of y, which is wrong. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, that was right the first time. Duh. Man, I got my registers totally boned up with that. That's why I usually drop a comment in there that says what the current state of various registers are. It's helpful during development. So okay, so we grab our palette value. We get it from the right translation table. Then we store it out to our palette registers, and then we decrement our loop, and then we're done. So start fade in needs to be set up. So we want this one. Yes, we're gonna. Hmm. Oh, pointer. That should be it. I'm not gonna save any registers there on that point. So. Hmm. Well, I think that should be it. So I think we can actually might be able to ready to give this a try. So that all looks good. Start fade in. All right, so where do we want to put this? Let's go to our, we only want this in the UI scene state for right now. I don't mind blowing up one of the scene states or all of them really, but I don't want to blow up anything in the game. Let's see, states, general. Let's see. I think we set that in our on enter or on init thing. Or maybe, actually, you know what? I think that's actually in scene state. I think I may have put that down here. Yep, that's it right there. So, well, okay, well, X is already set for what we need. So we're already good there. Don't need any of this other junk. Keep that pause there. That's been a current aesthetic, but who knows? I might get rid of that. Because at that point, everything is drawn, and that fade can actually start on the next, and I don't actually care much for it. So let's see. I want to do the palette control. We're going to start our fade in. Okay. Don't care if it destroys anything, so you know what? I'm going to take that out just to see what happens. So the thing is I might want to put a delay in there too. Like delay one or two frames because that's going to happen on every tick. So that's going to be a 60 frame per second fade. So that's only going to take a couple of frames. So that's going to happen pretty quick. Um, but it'll certainly be smoother than what it was before. So well, let's see if it let's see if I screwed anything up. Yep, certainly did. I'm not sure if it crashed or if it. Oops, I just shrank that. Hmm. Wow. Okay. Palette buffers and shared memory, so that's all right. So I know that's good. That doesn't care. Palette control does. Is that right? Or did I start at 0? That's 0. That's certainly one problem, but that just would have resulted in goofy palettes. So oh well. I only set the first one. Freaking typo. Well, I got a ding. I don't know where that came from. Did that happen on the? That didn't happen from the stream. Maybe it happened on the. Oh wow, it was a message on Facebook. Well, that doesn't happen very often. Hmm. Oh well. Okay, back to this. So let's actually close this down. So yeah, if it's only set in the first one, that's cool because the first one's always black. Dumbass. I just was not. I wasn't even paying attention when I was typing that. Wow. Still boned. Hmm. No, I do know one thing I should probably do right now, but that's, let's see. I might as well save D and, well, I need to save, I need to save the CC register. So I needed to do that anyway, because I'm going to disable the interrupts. Actually, you know what? I only need to disable IRQ. Oops. There we go. So, and the reason for this is I don't want the just in case the interrupt handler ever needs to change this. There may be some stuff that I add in later that does that. Um, Things could get, I don't know, out of whack where I don't want the two. Uh, Actually, you know what? It won't matter in this particular case. It will with the input. The input stuff, I will have to do that because um, there's more than one operation that happens. So I don't really need to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and save D anyway. Get that in there. So yeah, the input I'll have to do that, but not here. Tisk tisk. All right, so back to the problem. Getting the Wait a minute. Maybe I'm not using the right one. No, that's the right one. Well, let's do this. It's not translated. That way we'll know at least if it's getting called. Wait, am I even calling that? Yeah, should do that anyway. Let's see. Just one less line of code to look at. Let's see, directs, and then it's fig table goes level 3. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it, so maybe that shit's just not getting hit. Hmm. I'd be curious as to why, because where is that file again? All right, let's go look at our IRQ service. Okay, same as it was this morning, except for that. Hmm. Let's see if it's even being set. Yeah. Okay, so it's in how it's handling the translation table, so I know that. Yeah, I don't think the palette data needs masking. I mean, that would certainly cause it, but I'd imagine I'd get weird colors instead of always black. So, I mean, so maybe it's in the chain. That would certainly help rather than having it constantly calling itself. See, the thing is, it wasn't even on the copy paste one, it was on the very first one. Or no, maybe it was when I changed it. I forgot to change that one. All right, so we can get rid of that. Is there anything in? Nope. Not sure if I'm going to be pressed for memory on this one. I mean, this stuff resides up in the memory that's dedicated to chaos, that upper 8K block that I've got. But I- I've actually got a fair amount of memory. Oh, my battery is low on my headset. That's new. Wow, I hope it doesn't go out while I'm doing this. Okay, so we can do this. Let's see. Wow, don't need any type of delay, so that's good. Okay, let's exit. I like that. I like that. That quick fade actually really does work. I didn't think it would, but doing it every frame at the with the different stages, that works really really well. Really does. So let's try this. Credits. Yeah, I think that looks good. I think that looks really really good. Yeah, that quick fade in really works for this game. Not so much for that page though. Not so much for that page. Let's try that again. I'm gonna have to change that page. You know, actually, I know what I've got a good color scheme that I actually want to try with that that I was playing around with the other day. Maybe I'll do that here and see if it works better with the fade and the chumps. Yeah, see that one works good too because you've got kind of the medium colors in there as well. So I'm not sure I like the frame though. I may have to do some dithering on that. Problem is with dithering though is that you get some weird artifacts on a lot of LCD displays, particularly with scrolling. And that's actually something that I pay a fair amount of attention to. Um, uh, One, I've got an LCD monitor, myself, even though, but I mean, certainly looks great on a CM8. Um, but some of the dithering can actually cause some really terrible effects on LCDs. So I actually do try to be mindful of that because I know a lot of people have uh, use emulators and as well as have LCD displays hooked up to their Cocos, so that actually can make a difference. Although, depending on how big it is, sometimes the bigger the screen, if it's all stretched out, it looks pretty fine. And um, but other than that, it's eh. All right, so let's get back to this. Okay, so we've got that. That's working good. Um, and actually, I want to rename these. Fade in stage because those really only work for fade in. I'm gonna have to do some um, for that. I may do a table as well. Who knows? But this works for right now. Let's end and we'll do all. All right. So we got our fade in stage. Da, 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 da. Let's get in some of this. So let's do this. We'll just copy this over. And we don't need that. We can do that. Actually, I want to do this. I like this better. I just prefer X. All right, so we've got our um, palette pointer. We've got our that, and just loads and stores. Does that? Okay, so actually, I'll just take this up here. X clear. All right, so what do we have here? Okay, so we're setting our stage, we're getting our palette IO registers, our count. We're just gonna clear that puppy out. All right, and down here, we get we get whatever the palette is, we grab the registers, and we just go ahead and set that and copy that over. Okay, that's good. Now let's go over here. Get rid of that, and get rid of that. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna do that because I'm gonna want that for the fade in as well. So we're gonna do this, and actually, we're gonna. Mm, no, we're gonna leave the registers unsaved for right now because I don't think we have any real need for that at the moment. All right, so I'm gonna do that for the set palette as well. Let's see. Okay, so we've got our translate and set palette, and actually, you know what? I'm gonna move this up to here. Okay, starter fade in, you know, one more space there just to kind of space them out a little bit. All right, there we go. And stage one, tick pointer, GSR clear. So now we're gonna do this the same one right here, except set. Do, 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 do. And we can just branch to that, get rid of that. Since we're not saving any registers, and we do want to be at least a little mindful of memory in this particular region. I mean, I do have like, I don't know, 3 or 4K left, and I mean all the rendering stuff. I mean that all gets mapped in and out, so I mean that I don't really have to worry about that too much. Um, but still, you know, there is other code that I want to bring in for handling certain things, and but I mean overall I'm doing pretty good. I actually don't use this or put stuff in this region of memory very often or much anymore. I used to when I started the project. I'd get stuff up in there and you know, little tweaks and new stuff to chaos. But all right, so we've got that. We want to move that up there. We're going to change that up there. This branch always, and I don't want either of these munging with. Let's see. Let's do this. We'll change that a little bit just to make it system palette so formal. Yes, because I have other palette functions that are going to be mixed in with this that are actually optional, but some of them I may be using. And so there are going to be set and all of that. So there needs to be some stuff differentiated. So and we'll do the same thing to this. Wait, what did I just do? Okay. Oh, I screwed something up. Clear system palette. There we go. Duh. Okay, that'll start to fade in. That's that. That's that. Ah, damn it. Here comes some big names again. But I bet you could, makes it easier to read though. But you could take a lot away from it without even having the comments. So that's good, right? All right, let's see what do we got here. Yeah, let's tighten that up a little bit. Okay, so we got our fade ins. Yep, I can certainly build a table out of that. That's some pretty simple ass logic. So and then with a null terminator. So yeah, that maybe that's something I'll look into to doing. Um, but I do want to keep this particular model for the moment, simply because of the fade out. I don't know how how far I'm going to be able to get on that today. That actually requires some eventing, so I think this is actually looking pretty good right now. Um, so let's actually try this out and see if it still works like I did before. I gotta say I'm really impressed with that quick fade in. I think that works real well. I mean, I'm gonna try. I might go in later on and add create some macros. Maybe add in add in a delay. Oops, that's still running. And let's take a look at this real quick just to kind of get a feel for it. Yeah. Okay. That one in particular looks is really nice because of the way that it comes in. It almost has that kind of um, TV feel to it, I guess. I don't know, maybe. All right, so Kumiko. Okay, that seemed to have worked. Let's try this. Options. Exit. High scores. Yeah, I like that. So, looking at that too, I might actually be able to get away with not having the eventing. I mean, that happens pretty quick, and depending on what is drawn on the screen, I may be able to just kick off a fade out like I'm doing now, and just let it run a minute. And if it happens to set, a fade in, certainly notice the effect. But I think that, drawing all of this stuff is going to take at least a couple of frames. So there might actually have to be some delay in there. But we'll see how that works out. Because I mean, doing the fade out is just the same as doing the fade in instead of the scene state clearing the the palette. It just goes ahead and kicks that off. You know what? That was in scene state, wasn't it? Yeah. Why is that not showing up as saying changed? Oh, because I've already committed it. Duh. So it's similar to this. So I mean, that's going to be right here on exit. I'll do the same thing. So since this is in scene state, this actually is in the game. So let's actually, before I move on, I want to see what that looks like in the game. Okay, that was cool. So yeah, but I might want to add some stuff in here to kind of lock input while the fade is happening, just to be sure. Because I mean, if you could actually be able to hit really fast, and I mean, people will actually do that. They'll go out and look for shit like that. So yeah, you could let's see, visit the armory. Okay, that's cool. Okay, and let's just begin the saga. Oh yeah, that looked pretty cool. It's quick. I might actually add support for a delay in there and have like the game kind of fade in a little slower. That's something I can look at. Well, let's play around with let's play around with some fade outs while I contemplate what to do with the game level supporting the and thanks for that. I'm actually for if I do that, I think I'm going to add or convert that in the stuff into a table. We'll see what the requirements are of the okay, got all that of the fade out is, particularly with eventing and then of course we've got the corner case of a fade out being kicked off while a fade in is still in progress and that kind of thing and I don't know, that's why you want to kind of you can avoid that. I mean, you don't actually even have to take care of that if you avoid it with like locking out like user input for certain things and like control, like if you're fading in and into the game and you hit pause, that might actually kick off like another fade because you might want to like fade it down to halfway or darken stuff. So you might have a conflict that you might otherwise have to take care of, and that's going to happen, across scenes, even the basic UI stuff with the key navigation. So, um, and even could be button clicks. I mean you might still have the button down um, at a particular point. So there's some, and of course that corner case I might take care of. So we're going to do the same thing with here, or actually down here that we did. Actually, you can't see my cursor, so I should stop doing that. You know what? Actually, let me see if I can turn that on. I'm pretty sure OBS allows you to do that. Capture. Oh yeah, I got my cursor turned on. Okay, cool. I did do that, so that's awesome. What happened? Oh, lost it for a minute there. That was so odd. Wow. Okay, so hopefully y'all can see my cursor. Says you can. So anyway, so I'm gonna do down here what I did up there. So we're gonna over here, palette control. Let's get rid of the fade table. We don't need to do anything with that. Um, don't need the UI scene state, multiple scene stating. Okay, so we don't need main. So here's all the two files we got. So we're just gonna do basically the reverse of what we're doing now. Of course, this time I'm gonna try not to make any errors on it. Um, so this is a fade out. So we want to start with whatever we're doing up here. But we don't want the no-op function. So what we're going to do is we're just going to copy some of this down here. And we're going to do this. Actually, I could have just copied the whole thing. Out stage 0. So you know what? Actually, I'm hoping that the fade out. I'm hoping that there's like no like special cases in it. I don't think there's gonna be. So this is kind of an easy kind of prototype. So when I switch it over the table, I might snazzy it up a little bit so that you could actually do that kickoff of it. So like if I'm doing a fade out and you say a fade in, it starts fading in from that point on. So there's all kinds of little nifty things that you can do with this. Um, but maybe I'll hold off on that. Okay, so I want the next function to be stage 1. Okay, we're setting our next state. We're setting our palette pointer, or yeah, setting our uh, yeah, and we are setting our system palette. Okay, so now stage 1 is going to be table driven. So we can do this. Oops, I could have done this too. 2, 1. All right, so we're going to go to stage 2, and we got our palette, and this time we're going to here, and I have a feeling I'm going to be getting a branch out of range here in a minute. Just get that feeling. All right, so we can just do some copy pasta some more. It's like brunch. 2, 3. Now 3 is different because now we got to clear the palette. And this is where we want to end. So we're gonna take this, and I think that's actually, you know what? Fade out. Okay, so we're gonna set our null stuff here, but we're gonna go to clear. So now it's just like stage 0. Do a branch and separate a little bit. Oh no, no branch out of range yet. That's okay. If I did, I'd just stick the shit right in the center, which I may actually end up doing. Because yeah, getting to this clear system palette, which is right here, I figured that would fail. But hey, must be right there on the cusp. I'm almost tempted to do that or to take a look at the listing. So we're gonna do this. Fade out, out, set tick, and we're done. All right, so I didn't even need to build that. Let's cancel that. Um, you know what? We're gonna skip that start right there, and this is actually gonna should actually shorten up the time by a few milliseconds, I guess. The transitions. So, and we're just gonna get rid of this. And really, it's the same as up here. You know what? I'm gonna delete that. I'm just gonna delete it. Yeah, I might just save that in there just because I like it. And fade out. Ooh, what was I? Was I saving that for any reason, or is there's nope? That's I do not want to do that. I don't know why I'm doing that. We've got to preserve X while we're in this context there, so that has to be done. And fade out is saving the registers it needs to do, except, yeah, okay, X is going on the cheap. That's probably going to bite me in the ass at a later point in time, I'm sure. All right, so we are created. All right, so credits. Wow, that was a crappy conversion. I think something's wrong with my tables. Wow, let me do some checking here. What am I doing wrong? Oh, it's got to be in here. No, getting the address to the palette buffer. So start fade out, state 0, and then stores X in the. Hmm, what do you know? Of course, I could probably just thrash X here. Maybe I'll clean that up. All right, so It's the same damn code as what was up there, so take a look at that again. Hmm. So the fade in works fine. Hmm. That is so odd. Let's see. So that would have to be in the center ones because that's the only ones using the translate. That doesn't make any damn sense. Hmm. No, that's the same. That's the same. So fade out zero. So that's it. That's fine. All right. Clear palette's fine. Set system palette is fine. And they're all on the same palette. That's what's interesting. So the fade in works fine. So it's got to be in here. It's got to be somewhere in here. Damn, that is so freaking odd. Oh, I know what it is. Forget the translation table. Duh. I'm doing that. So, all right, so we're doing a fade out. So this has got to be 2, and this has got to be 1. Oh, still running. Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? Yep, got rid of it. That time that copy pasta got me. Oh well. I'm pretty well lubricated this morning, so well actually now it's afternoon. 4 minutes into the afternoon now. All right, so that worked fine. Perfect. Well, let's go down the whole thing of it because the whole game will be we'll have that. All right, let's see. High scores. Exit. Options. Eh, that might grow on me. Credits. Yep. And the chumps. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. That didn't look like it. Okay, it did fade out. This was not paying attention. Boy, my shutter speed's all fucked up today. All right, so let's go to new saga. Okay, that's cool. Nice. Visit the armory. Yeah, there's enough time in there with there's actually a noticeable enough delay in there. I don't think I'll have to do any eventing. So that's I don't know what to think about that. I think I'd rather have it faster. I think I have it closer together where it just, you know, fades right out, fades immediately fades right in. Oh, that's what I want. All right, let's try to select some buttons with this joystick. These thumb pads are a little hard to control. Okay, so we got that. We're still working on that. I did find a bug in this from the last session that I fixed. I was not calculating the couple of the MMU blocks correctly because I had to reverse them from block IDs for the back buffer. All right, so let's try playing this game a little bit. I'm gonna blow up. see if I can't. Let's see. Okay, begin saga. Okay, fades in pretty cool. I thought about putting up like uh, um, letters, from the font the same way that like when the stage is completed, uh, like when you die and have it said like you died. But I don't know if there's gonna be like enough rendering capabilities to do something like that at the frame rate because there'd still be a lot. There could still be a whole bunch. Oh, I'm avoiding them. I want to die. What am I doing? There we go. They still blew up. Okay, and that came back in fine. Okay, final score 2100. Game over. Or something like game over, when you die. But I don't know how much is actually going to be on the screen. There could quite, be a lot. I mean, you could get blown up when um, the with the boss, and that boss is just still sitting there firing at you. And you got all those things on the screen. And I guess I could stop having them fire and then like blow up themselves or something if I want to get rid of them. So we still got high scores. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I did not expect it to be that easy. So I still got that. Still got to fix that clicking thing with that. And here we go. All right, so I'm going to save all this and start figuring out. And then maybe I will look at doing it as a table now. So let's take a look at the fade in. See if we can't convert this into table. Maybe make it easier. Because I mean, granted, I mean there's nothing. I'm not going to have to deal with any special eventing, at least not yet. And if I do, um, that it can be taken care of easily. But having this run as data will probably be a lot more effective. Just overall, I mean, it probably take a few extra cycles, but I'm okay with that. I know what I'm doing. Made it this far, haven't I? Oh, it's what is it? Slick Rick, children's story. Awesome, awesome song. Haven't heard that one in a while. I had to get a different playlist. So don't mind me. I'm just checking Facebook real quick. All right. So what do we have here? Actually, let me switch back over to the live stream because there's nobody watching and I'm just sitting here talking to myself. That's how you know I'm a fucking genius, man. All right. So we want to do this into a table. So we're going to need a few things. I mean, we don't need. We're going to have a tick pointer, I'm sure, but so, but I think we can probably consolidate these and down to something smaller. Just be a little bit mindful of memory because it certainly helps, and I've got some other functions like this that'll tie into that. So okay, so we know that these two are going to be our big ones because they actually require the most, but each one, so we know that each one has a function of 0.2, and two of them have translation tables. So that should be easy. In fact, I think I know a way to do this. So let's create a table here. Let's do a structure. Actually, let's do this. Palette fade. What do we want to call this? It's palette fade something. Dispatch. Ah, stretch. All right. End S. All right. So what do we want in this? We need the translation table. That's going to be 2. And we want the set function. that's 2. So that's really it. Let's just go ahead and make that up there even so we know what it is. And that's it. You know what? I think I'm going to do a define for this one. A define macro. I love these. Table and set function. FDB table, FDB set function. All right. So we want, it's okay, fade in table. Fade in sequence, that sounds better. Because that's really what we're about ready to do here. Okay, so we've got this. This is, this doesn't have anything. So clear system palette. Okay, that's function, but we don't have a table to use. Actually, I'm not sure I like that. The clear palette doesn't care what is in X. I mean, it basically blasts it away anyway. So, I mean, it doesn't matter what's in there, but we might want to use 0 as a kind of a terminator kind of thing. Because with this way, I could actually you can get away with adding with doing some frame delays here. So we'll actually play around with that here as soon as I do this, and that's one of the benefits of doing it. So we're going to do this, and then let's see, and that's going to be level next item in the sequence is that, and then next is 2, and that's the same, but this one is going to be the same as this. Set system palette. Oh, wait a minute. Hmm. Tisk tisk. Well, let's do this. Okay, so the problem is that I can't just set a pointer here, and it needs to use this right here. And I don't want to make a special case for it, and I don't really want to make much of a new function for it. So what we're going to do here is, let's find, there we go. We're going to make an alternative version. There. And these names, anything with an EX doesn't last long. I always go through and explicitly search for that and replace them. That's a placeholder so that I don't have to think about it at the moment. All right, so get rid of that line. Now see, this is the problem here. I want to be able to reduce this, both the data, because I don't want to have like another data member up here, because these are going to be moved into a special section. Once this is finished, and that has limited space. So I don't want to be creating more of this crap that goes in there. It's really not necessary. And these really aren't needed. So I'm just going to set these to 1. But actually, you know what? That's going to take up, oh, well, not necessarily. Well, these the tables don't exist in that data space. So yeah, that's actually where I want that data to be at. So if we have to expand it, we do it somewhere else so that it doesn't matter. Um, so here we're going to do null. Actually, you know what? We're just going to do this. We're going to get rid of that, and we're going to go back to null. And I actually have a specific reason for doing this. Okay, that's good. All right. So we are going to create one right now. Palette pointer on tick pointer. Even that out a little bit because this one's going to get. Yep. Okay. On tick pointer. Store X there, but we have one more sequence to do. We got to be able to deal with this. Where did it go? Right there. All right, so let's actually divide this up so people can follow it. Whoever happens to come across it. All right. You know what? I'm just going to set this first. All right, so we've got our setting our palette pointer. We're setting our new fade sequence, for which I will create in a minute. I've got my tick pointer as the tick handler, and then fade in sequence um, is our current sequence pointer. So we'll go back down here. And that is actually, we're going to comment all of this out for the moment. So there goes a lot of memory. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to load X with the palette control pointer that we just actually created on sequence pointer. So, all right. Now, we know what's in there. So we've got, actually, you know what? We want to do it in U. Because we need X as a pointer. We need, okay, so palette fade dispatch translation table. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change that. Because that is specific to one of those functions. It's not to everybody. Call it you. And we're going to jump to this. Actually, you know what? Fade command. Because this is actually going to be run or integrated into a different sequencer. So the data I have some flexibility with because I'll be reusing some of the stuff from that particular piece of code, which is always nice to do. And it's for the handle some of the eventing too. So maybe some of what I write today will actually help me get all the rest of that stuff done. So okay, so we've got our, oops, this is an indirect. Don't want to be doing that. So now we got to make sure that we store or adjust this. So we want to do a x because we're gonna use x later on to let's see size of. Oops, why did I do that? All right, so we've got this, comma u, get that off of u. So now we've got now we know what the next one is, and we can store it here back into that. So now we know what our next sequence is going to be. But this is the problem. How to determine the end of it. Well, I could add the terminator like I was thinking about, or I could use an address. And I mean, I'm only going to have two fade tables really, so I don't. Man, that would actually be different with the full sequencer because it actually happens as a different type of a command dispatch. Well, it's handled differently and formatted a little bit differently, but just as efficient. Um, so let's see. Mm, well, I guess. Well, if I check the still needs to call the stuff, so that happens either way. Um, so we're just going to be changing what our tick handler is. So I guess we'll modify this to have an end because I could very well put other palette sequences in there for I don't know a smart bomb. I might have it go through a different maybe a couple of different translation tables to add some, maybe some palette effects in there, and those um, would happen, at 60 frames per second. So I have a little more flexibility with those. So there's certainly the possibility of that. So I think we will use an end pointer because I don't necessarily know that that extra cycle is going to be worth the memory at this point, particularly for how often this kind of stuff and where it kicks off at. So, all right, let's go back down here. For x to end, that's not equal to uh, set it. Oops, now I'm going to get this, oops, indented over one. Oops, wrong key. Not just so I could fit it, because I mean I gotta have that 8 characters. I mean at least. So all right, set it. So all right, we are going to load X with what is it? The chaos no op function. Yeah, and we're gonna store that in the onTick pointer. All right, so this I think I'm gonna comment. Oh, well, I guess it's the node, whatever. Okay, so Yeah, that'll be the last one. Last one, and I'll have to. Oh, wait, that goes down here. Is this the last one? Just set the palette. Yep. Set the no up. Default. That's it. I'll get the argument. And call the function. Oh, I knew I was forgetting something. And we got to go back up here. All right. And it just requires more pollution in the symbol table. Just one more damn symbol. Although I might be able to reduce it by using a single value at the beginning of it, like I do with some of the other tables, but not really all that convinced on this one. All right, so we get our current sequence element. We move on to the next one, but that's an X instead of U. And then we go ahead and we save it out. We compare it to the end. If it's not the end, then we go ahead and do it. Otherwise, we go ahead and set to an op. Boom, we're done. So okay, so that is, I think I just leave that, and this will be really same way. We'll just reverse the damn thing. So that'll work, and then we'll play around, maybe play around with some different um, fade-ins, so that we have an option of doing. So let's give this a shot. So I'm just going to let this load without the fast load because I might skip it. I want to, if it blows up, I want to see it happen. I want to see how much it screws up. Yeah, it does actually take a while to load on without hitting that F9 key. Oh, that didn't look good. But yeah, so it seems like something is wrong there. Okay, we got our table and our function. Okay, clear palette, set system palette EX, so that should be good. Let's see if we can't determine what. Wow. Hmm. Well, that's odd. All right, so let's see if we can't clean some of this up. Okay, the palette fade command is X in function. We're X in function there. That's good. So we're gonna get these out of the way. Move this up here. Oops, I don't want that comment there. All right. So here we've got our clear palette, or define things, and our sequence ends. So let's take a look at kicking it off. Yep. Size of palette fade command. Okay. And then we store the X in that good old, hmm. Well, I mean, it seems to be stopping at least. I mean, that we know that it's running. So, yeah, even the fade out was goofy. Maybe I screwed something up here. Hmm. Fade table level one. Huh. That's pretty odd. Huh. Yeah, that's right. Or did I do that backwards? No, fade in. But that seems to be conflicting at some point. It doesn't seem to maybe be adding. Oh, I know why. I think I know why. Actually, I'm kicking that fade off at the wrong time. So that's a bit of a problem. All right, so I know what to do with that. Let's see, that is going to be over there in scene state. Okay, fade out. No, actually, no, I'm doing the fade in right where I need to. It's always going to be the same. Well, actually, no, I take that back because there's going to be two of the scenes I'm converting over to a custom palette. So I got some ideas for it, particularly that the game over screen. Okay, so we got our fade sequencer. That's fun. Doesn't matter the registers. So fade in sequence, sequence pointer, fade in end sequence, or sequence end. Okay, well that looks fine. We know that clear and all that stuff was working fine before, so it's got to be in the table processor. That fade sequencer. Hmm. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to get me a cookie. Be right back. I'll take you with me. You just won't be able to see me. I mean, it's like I'm just in this little square box anyway. So let's see. I got a couple cookies left from this morning. That's right. I got a couple cookies left. Out of milk, though. Out of milk, which is very unfortunate. I have to pick some up this afternoon. Do a maybe do this. How long have I been going on this one? Well, like an hour and a half so far. So yeah, these always seem to be ending up like 2 hours. Hmm. Well, that is certainly a conundrum. Hmm. That was a mighty tasty cookie. I got one left too. Pretty sweet though. In fact, I think I might grab another drink while I'm at it because I'm mighty thirsty too. Yeah, maybe some water. But yeah, hang on. I think I got this. All right. All right. Sorry, my headset for some reason keeps every once in a while it goes on mute all by itself. All by itself. I don't know if there's like maybe a key I'm accidentally hitting when I've got like OBS open or something or what. I don't know. But I also found a York peppermint pate, which I'm going to eat here very shortly. So let's see. Let's take a look at that garbage again. Okay. Oops, did that freeze? Wow. Okay, that means something. Well, let's see. Okay, so that means something's not being processed right. Huh. That's happening awfully fast too. Excuse me. Well, that's dumb. Hmm. Okay, well, we're setting this ahead of time and set our fade sequencer and actually not. That is possibly the problem. Out of order. See, we're setting up a fade sequencer and it's still using the same data as the previous one. And so until we set this pointer, that shouldn't become active, which means that, like I mentioned before, I'm setting this data up here, but I've already set the tick pointer. So since that tick pointer has been set, there's a possibility that there's some sync stuff that I've still got in there that's causing that to pick up before that tick pointer is properly set. So it starts trying to use that other data and just calls it, which screws everything up. Yep, that looked better. Let's see. Well, that didn't work either, but it's safer, that's for sure. Hmm. Wait a minute. Okay, on enter is start fade in, and that is start fade out. Oh, I wish I could run this at slow speed. Maybe I screwed something else up that I don't recall. So let's do this. This is why I kept this stuff floating around, just in case that little issue wasn't obvious, because it's going to be obvious as soon as I see it. That's for damn sure. Um, but then let's go back up here. We're just going to use that old stuff, because if that doesn't work, then that means I screwed up someplace else. Yep, see, branch destination out of the way. That's all right. That's gonna, we want that to go away anyway. See, I felt it was coming, but then again, I've added a bunch of shit in there, so oh well. I'll have to listen to that Coco Crew podcast again. Was it episode 88? Luckiest episode you can have. Episode 88. Well, 888, I guess, would be luckier. 8,888 would also be luckier. Um, but yeah, that's. I'll have to finish listen to that again. They had an interesting topic about OS 9. Like what was it? Was it too much too soon or too little too late? I think was kind of the gist of it. And I mean, if you know me, you know that I. Oh, okay, yeah, we screwed something else up. So let's take a look at what we did. Oh wow, I got a bunch of new crap in there. All right, let's see. Hmm. Well, I didn't change much that would have affected it. I mean, in fact, the only thing that I can see that might screw it up is that set system palette EX. Of course, I'm looking at it offline. Let me see, where is this? Um, Remote Explorer right there. The beauty of diffs. Yeah, see, that's really the only thing I can think of that would screw that up. But then again, I'm not using that down here. Wait a minute, I'm calling that on translate, I think. Oh no, that's right. That's set system palette EX. Well, that's right too. Well, you know what? Hang on a second. I'm gonna stash these. I want to make sure that was working before. All right, let me switch over here. This is gonna. All right, stash changes. Talent fade sequence table. I may have to start sharing my desktop for this, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to see like. Then I have to like set up the other TV because I won't be able to like freaking see anything. Um, like the comment. Oh, I guess I could put the comments up there. Let's see. Okay, we're all right. We are back to normal. Luckily, Oh shoot, I forgot my drink. If you're not familiar with Git, it's a revision control program. Allows me to periodically and frequently actually commit all of the changes that I've made. So I can go back and look what I've done before without a lot of hassle, without having to make backups, without having to label them, keep track of them, and all that stuff. It takes care of it for me. It also has this feature where I can stash whatever I'm working on and go back to what it was like before. So if I run into something where it's not quite obvious, and I think I might have made a mistake beforehand, I can go back and double check pretty quick. Also lets me okay, let's see. Yeah, see, it works fucking fine there. And these changes are not that goddamn difficult either. Or at least the implementation shouldn't be. But something is not working in there, so that is not all right. Well, let's play around here a little bit. Let's see if that might have been doing it. EX, since that's what we're using now. I mean, that certainly can't be it. I mean, I would be really surprised if it was. I mean, all I did was move the damn operation someplace, so at least it helps me eliminate it anyway. But that was the one thing that was bugging me is that system palette setting, but it's not. It's got to be in that. It's got to be in that logic. I mean, I'm checking X though. So this is gonna work. No, it didn't. Interesting. Okay. I'm really, really curious as to why that munches that up. What the hell? That does not make any damn sense whatsoever. And it munges up both of them. That's what's interesting. That is phenomenally stupid. I mean, it's unlikely a problem with the assembler. I mean, it's experimental and all that, but the code generation is one thing that I've been incredibly careful not to munge up. So I mean, I've got tests for that. Plus, I'd have seen this problem long before that. Where am I? Okay, that's fine. Of course, I do want to do this just as a precaution. Oops, wrong one. I am really baffled. That problem should not actually be happening. I mean, that's a whole. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of that next go around. This is definitely where an emulator does come in handy. And you know what? I've got to merge in the stuff for yeah. See it just bones that all up. Yeah, well, Wow, how dumb. How I don't really. Yeah, that's fucked up. All right, so let's do this. That way. Okay, those are. Even if I change this. Oops. Let me do this. Change that. I mean, even if I go back and change it so that. All right, we're going to make that so that that is the only change. See that? Yeah, that's it. Just that one addition. Because this should be just fine. It's the same freaking line. I mean, I copied and pasted it right there. So now if this works, I'm going to be really irritated, really irritated. All right, let's get rid of this and build it. Oh yeah, I still have a cookie left. I have a cookie. Actually, you know what? I've got. I think yep, yep. I've got a couple. I love these. I love these things. Artificial, artificially colorized, but apparently they're real pigskins. So yay for pork. I don't know what percentage of that is actually chemicals, but good shit, man. Kumiko. Let's see. Wow. I wonder something is munging up somewhere else. Well, let's see here. You know what? I need to rule out the. I should probably take a look at what code it's actually generating because that concerns me. I mean, this right here is the only new line, and it bunches it up. And that's the same damn line as right there. Of course, I am doing it from within within an interrupt. So maybe, just maybe. It's conflicts and marshmallows. Problems with interrupts, man. Well, guess I should. I did not so I can rebuild the disk. Yeah, see, I comment that shit out. That's fine. Same freaking line right there. You know what? That better not be it. If that's it, I'm gonna be pissed because it's quite possible. I was pulling out of the direct page. which is not where that's going to belong. But that shouldn't munge it up like it did. Still doesn't explain. I got to see what code that is. Really got to see what code's generated. Yeah, see, it still screws up. Okay, so we're going to do this. And actually, you know what? Let's cancel this. And what am I looking for? Set system palette, which is already in me. Oops. Yeah. Okay, we got that. E9AA, E9AA. You know what? I've got an idea. Let me take a look. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this in. I may have to actually share my window for a different window for this one. Let me see here. What am I building this as? All right, let's do one that works. Because I would hope that I could do a diff between two different listings and find out if there's anything different. Oh shit, that's actually not going to be a good idea. That's going to generate a lot of noise. No, well, actually, since I'm doing that, let's. Why the hell not? Maybe I'm exceeding something that I'm not checking for, but I'm pretty good about that. I mean, I don't know is why that would. Just make sure this works so that I'll use as a baseline. No, it didn't. Hmm. Well, shit. Well, let me make sure that that is 3 bytes. There's an easy way to figure that out. Whoops. Set system palette. Okay, that is 3. Oh, nope, nope, nope. The reason why I'm doing this is so that when I do the diff, the addresses of everything that follow it is the same. Otherwise, it's going to create a tremendous amount of noise. Okay. Just having that load X there is what's fucking doing it. That is ridiculously stupid. That's the problem with VCC. No, I wouldn't imagine. Okay, even if I don't fucking call it. All right, so let's do this. Okay, we've got our baseline here. So we're gonna find out if there are in fact any significant differences here. I'm going to be sharing that window here in a minute. So let's go over here to the output, and I'm going to save this as original, or no, baseline. Oops, baseline period. All right, now we're going to do this. I want to know what is so different about that code that freaking happens. All right, so let's do this. Get diff. Okay, I'm sorry. I just was looking at this. Let me see if I can. I don't know if I can actually share this window right now, but the gist of it is, in fact, well, let me see here. I should probably add one of these anyway. Add scene, because there's really no differences there. Create new. Oh no, that's a scene. I want to do a window capture. Window capture, because there's no real difference to it. Diff window capture, and we'll click Chris, get, there we go. There we go. Right there. I think I might actually keep that window around. That's it. There's no actual real difference between these files. So that should not crash or do what it's doing. And it's in a region of memory that's always mapped in. So is this data. So unless something is munging the data maybe for that, but then having these no ops there would not be a problem. Well, let's make sure that it's, I guess, BE, is that a Lodex extended? You know what, I don't actually recall, but luckily I do. Would you believe it? Have a, let's see, 16 instruction set. Okay, BE, let's see. Um, LDX, actually, I can just go to that. And let's see. The instruction table. But you can't see this, can you? I need to, yeah, I'm really gonna have to share my desktop. So LDX extended is 8E. Oh no, that's direct. No, that's immediate. Let's see, extended over here. Over here. Yep, BE. So it's generating the right code. I saw that from the other stuff, but so I am not gonna even look at VCC at the moment, but I am gonna try a couple of things. Branch destination out of range. That is curious. Well, I'm gonna do that. These last three. Just I guess I should exit out. So, pretty sure it's not the actual code. I hate even thinking it's like any of the two. Yeah, well, that didn't work. I really don't get that. Hmm. Hmm. That is a really, really, really odd response. Yeah, see now everything is changed in there on that. So let's get rid of that window and get that the hell out of the way. And so that is a bit of a conundrum, I guess. So you know what? I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna move it. See if that doesn't work. Hmm. I'm gonna have to actually take a look at the Chasm Cogen for some things because I think that would be a good possibility. Whoa, that didn't fucking work. Hmm. Well, let's do this. That anyway. All right, let me take a look at this. Where's our IRQ handler? Okay, blah 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 does that and then returns. So it doesn't have to worry about munging up the registers. Just calls that, which is starts off as a no-op. And we're not like using any stack, so we're just doing the jump. But maybe a direct jump. For the life of me, can't really figure out what it does, but this doesn't yield any results. I'm gonna have to take a closer look at the code because uh, something is definitely goofy there. Yeah, see, it still does it. So you know what? I'm gonna take a look at. Let's do this. Nothing better than looking for something that doesn't work in code that looks like it does. All right, so we're back to the state that works. This is incredibly baffling. Mm, mm. Unless these branches aren't getting hit, but all right, let's make sure that this puppy works and take a close look at the damn code. See, that works fine. That works fine. Yeah, see, that one takes a while to draw because you got all of the background. All that text has to be drawn on top of that background. So yeah, you got the decompression of that. So that's right. You got enough of a delay in there. They shouldn't be overlapping at all. Oh, I might just have to leave this the way it is for the moment and dig deeper. This may be a problem elsewhere, but That doesn't seem right. Hmm. No, I do. I mean, set system palette seems fine, but the moment you add that in there, it just freaking blows up. Oh, there's why. No fucking return. That would do it. Ah, man, I feel bad for even thinking it was VCC. I should know better than that. All right, so let's actually do this. Let's just I'm gonna blow this away. I'm gonna pull that table stuff back, and we're not even gonna bother testing this. We know what the problem is. Let's see, commit main. Let's get rid of that, and let's restore stash pop. No, I don't want to see the changes because I know where I'm looking. Can't believe I missed that. All right, so we've got that going. Yeah, I knew having a York peppermint patty would help. Always does. All right. And then we can get rid of that other garbage. And we're back to working. Awesome. Perfect. All right. So let's go down here and we can get rid of this now. Ow. Now we're going to take the sequencer. Actually, you know what? We're going to take the sequence itself. Actually, no, we're going to leave that there because we're going to do the other one. So we need to do, yeah, we can leave the fade sequencer right where it is because we're going to delete this whole section down here next. Then we'll clean it up a little bit. Okay. We'll want to consolidate some of this code and then maybe document it a little bit better. Um, okay, everything looks good, so I'm gonna commit that, and then we're gonna get rid of this other crap. There we go. And we're back to being non-orange. All right, start fade in, start fade out. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing with this as we do this. Let's just move this down here for now, because this shit right here is going away. All right, so fade out. All right, and actually, you know what? It's just this reversed. So we're gonna do this, and there, and voila, we are done. Okay, so we need to go up here. Actually, you know what? We can get rid of that shit. And we're gonna do the same thing up here. You know what? Actually, you know, I'm just gonna copy and paste. I'll clean it up later. Whoops, wait a minute. Oh, I guess I should probably test the fade sequencer. But my guess is that, oops. Oh, right. I guess I have to do this. Guess we're testing all of it at once. Do 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 do. Actually, we want this too. We're gonna match this here. I'm gonna consolidate that into a single function and just utilize the wonderful register set of the Cocoa, and I will do that here in a minute. I just want to see if this works, and I've done other things that have probably not worked out well. Excuse me, that may still be broke, uh, which is a bummer, I guess. All right, let's do this. It'll work, I know it will. Yep, there we go. That's cool. All right. Okay, so we got the table stuff in there, so that's cool. Um, you know what? I'm gonna save this off, and then we'll get to a little bit of cleanup. All right, let's see. Move these up to the top. Let's see, we got the sequencer. Yeah, we'll go our tables here. And then we've got all of our codes. So now I'm going to get rid of this. Don't need that. And I mean, they're loading from there anyway. In fact, I can probably get rid of the, oh no, I can't get rid of the argument. Damn, oh well. So that's fine. We've got all of that. And then we've got the sequencer function. Awesome. So now I'm going to consolidate that function and I don't know, maybe find something else to do with it. Maybe actually, you know what? Before I do that, let's do this. Let's try one a little bit slower, and we'll do that just by doubling everything in there except for the set system palette. There's no reason to do that, so we'll twice as long. Actually, you know what? I don't need to do that either. So each of those is going to be twice as long, are the ones that actually have colors. So we'll see how it goes at twice the speed, essentially 30 frames per second. So see if I like that fade any better. That might be great for like the fading out of the at the end of a stage. And we go here. Didn't really. Well, that kind of fade out that kind of hits. Let's see. That works good there. Oh, it's just the colors of the thing, I think. Yeah, because that one's limited color range. You're going to get some things that just don't go as smoothly as you like. So this one is good though. Yeah, I could take either one. I mean, it's subtle difference, I guess. Not that much, but you get that. So let's do a real slow one. In fact, let's split this up so we can keep count. Let's do that. That should really be noticeable. That's like what, 15? Yeah, 15 frames per second. Don't know if I like it or not, but we'll see. Different rates at for different things. Yeah, you can really tell on that. Probably a little too slow, maybe. Yeah, I like the faster one. It kind of hides the imperfections of the limited palette. So yeah, because like when you, especially on this one, you see the frame is pretty noticeable because it's a dark gray, so the only next level down is black. So you don't get that kind of transition there. Now, if I go in and dither it with a hatch pattern, then with like say a lighter gray, kind of try to get a something in between, which is going to look great on a CM8, not necessarily on an LCD, but on a CM8, yeah. That fade in will actually be that imperfection will be lessened because that gray will have that lighter gray will have two steps down. So it'll go from light gray, dark gray to dark gray, black, and the black, black. So that fade happens a little bit smoother. That's one of the benefits of fade is you're not limited to just what you got in front of you. So let's see. We're gonna make that function a little more uh, usable. So actually, you know what? Let's get rid of those. We're gonna keep the fast stuff for right now. We'll play with that later. I'll look at it with the different dithering patterns. So start fade in. All right, so we've got a couple of things here. So we've got the beginning and the end sequence. We're already getting the palette and X, so we've got Y and U to use, and D. So we'll use, let's see, nope, we don't need to do the fade sequencer. So let's go ahead and take this out. We'll do kind of a run at that. Okay, so we're going to do, so we've got X in there. We're going to use U as our next one. And you know what? Actually, we're going to do that. We're going to do this one in D. So, whoops. I deleted something I didn't want to. There we go. That'll save us a byte cycle or two, I guess. And then we don't care what D is after that. So, um, but start fade. We should probably preserve this because this is going to be called by the states and other code outside of the interrupt. So we don't have the luxury of doing that. Oops, comma X, comma U, X, comma U. All right, so we're gonna, X goes into the palette, U is the that. All right, so we just go up here, U, D, get rid of that for right now. And actually, we've got to save it here too. I do not like, no, actually, I don't need to do that down here because I'm not actually loading them, duh. Come to you. All right, so X comes in on the, let's see, I think I've got that, yeah, I've got that up here. It's the same. Okay, add just a fade out. And my headset is actually bugging me, so this will be the last thing I do today. Got other things to do anyway. So okay, we got our sequence here in U, our sequence end in D, and our we don't need the fade sequencer. We just BSR to there. That seems simple enough, doesn't it? So we'll do the same thing up here. We don't need to store X. This goes in U. It's already in D. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And that. All right, so fade in, end, and let's do this. Let's make sure that we document this one down here because that's going to be important. That's palette. Fix these up here. And X is the address of that. U address of And D is the address of the sequence end. I'll probably get rid of having to pass that and just um, load that value from like the first of the uh, or the beginning of the tables. Oops, I want to go down there. All right, so then we got start fade. We store a palette, store a sequence, start and end, and then we get our sequencer, set it as the tick handler, and we are good to go. All right, that should work, right? Like I wasted what, a half hour, more than a half hour looking at that crap. Missing return statement. Gotta remember to pay attention to code, but I'm pretty lubricated at the moment, so I don't see that changing. And what do we have here? Perfect. There we go. So we've got some consolidated code there, and that'll come in handy, and I'll write all that boring documentation offline. And let's see the chunks. So that one comes in pretty well. Options is, yeah, you really notice it on that. It's really quick. So I think I can change that up a little bit, kind of soften it, kind of soften. In fact, I can actually do a demo of that right now. I can just, I guess, talk while I'm doing it because it ain't that. I don't think it's going to be that time consuming because I'm pretty sure I've already got the stuff in there. Um, Plain page. Do I have it in that one? If not, it's in the. Oh, I don't even have GIMP loaded up. All right, dither. Let's enable that. And we'll do this. That'll be the, I guess the options page. Yeah, this is going to be in the options page. Oh, yeah, I forgot the compression takes a while. It's pretty good compressor, man. It's pretty pretty effective at what it does. It goes out and it searches it. The window, I mean, is whatever the current size of the decompressed portion of that data is. So works really damn well. I mean, I fit all this on a single disk, and I got a lot of room to spare. All right, let's look at the options. Yeah, see that center part is a little better, a lot better than the sides. So, wonder what would happen if I applied that to the sides. I guess we could check on that one. But that might actually take a while, and I think I'm going to be done for the day. So let me make sure that I've got all this stuff, saved out or stashed in Git before I mosey on. So, but yeah, it was fun, except for looking at the looking for that bug, just an overlook of code. I mean, it was quite baffling at first, and then I should remember, hey, look at your own damn codes, huh? All right, so everything looks good here. Everything is condensed up now. Maybe do some cleanup. And so we've got some better palette control. We've got our fades, and I didn't even have to do any event stuff. So that is pretty awesome. It's pretty rad, man. But I think I'm gonna bail out here. I got some other stuff I got to do this afternoon. So I may take this up tonight. I don't think I'm gonna have any free time. I've got something that is probably not going to be happening. Um, but even then, I think I've spent far too much time on it lately. So I'm gonna get some me time. But anyway, have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and I will see you probably next week. So have a nice gnarly one, man.